Hi, everybody. Merry Christmas and welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we're really excited today. We have with us author and producer Karen Kingsbury is here, and she is the producer and writer behind the new movie, The Christmas Ring. And Karen, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, this is so cool to get to talk with you. And since this is your first time on the podcast, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit of how you got started writing?
Yeah, so I'm Karen Kingsbury and started writing, goodness, when I was 5. I wrote a book called The Horse. Every word was spelled wrong, but my mom saved it. She gave it to me for my college graduation.
Oh, that's so cute.
So fun. So then I wrote for the newspaper for a few years, LA Times, and from sports over to feature stories for the Sunday kind of morning edition. And then, I ended up writing 4 true crime books, which was for us just an answer to prayer that I could be home to work at home. My husband
Oh.
was a teacher. So 4 true crime books. And then after that, I was like, that's enough. I can't do darkness anymore. I have to have some light, in my life
Mm-hmm.
here. And so I wrote a book called Where Yesterday Lives. It was my first, I would call inspirational fiction book. And that was the first now of over 60.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was going to ask if you always had an interest in romance and yeah. And how, so that was your first one. And then you went off from there. I mean, how did you even get your first book published? How did that all happen?
Yeah, so Where Yesterday Lives, because I'd already had 4 true crime books, and that was, I had a story that I'd written for the newspaper, and I sold it to People magazine, and it was a sad story about a girl who was,
Mhm.
murdered by her friends, very sad. But I had done the big feature, and so I sold it to People, and then an agent saw it. He contacted me, and he said, "This would make a great true crime book." And Rachel, at that point, I had never even read a true crime book, so I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay." I'm like 26. What am I supposed to do with this? So I wrote a proposal, had no idea what I was doing, but wrote that up, and he got it into a bidding war. So I had ended up being
Wow.
able to quit my job, a month later, a few days before my maternity leave was up, actually. And I was able to, stay at home. And then 1 led to 2, led to 3, led to 4. And those were also
Oh,
really successful. And
yeah.
there was always a redeeming character. I felt like, God always gave me somebody in the book who, would give you a ray of light in the midst of its
Hmm.
sadness and darkness.
Hmm.
But then I wrote Where Yesterday Lives on Spec. And
Hmm.
it was a romance, it was about a marriage and a woman who goes back to her small town for her dad's funeral. And the old boyfriend is still there. And she's
Hmm.
having trouble with her marriage. And she's, it's just, and she has to really press on to find what she really wants from life. And she ends up making the right decision, does not have an affair. And
Hmm.
I just felt like it was a compelling enough story to tell and to realize that sometimes it's just a matter of looking face to face and saying you're sorry and finding love again. So I'm big
Hmm.
on second chances. And that kind of led to 6 books where I felt like nobody really ever saw them. And then I started writing about the Baxters. And, the Baxters became a TV show eventually, but the Baxters it changed everything. And people
Hmm.
fell in love with that family. And then from then on, I was writing, I think I'm over 20 books that are about the Baxter family. But
Wow.
then alternatively, I would always like want to go ahead and write a standalone because standalone
Hmm.
stories still would grab my heart and
Hmm.
allow me to step out of the world of the Baxters. So, about half my books are standalone and half, a good 20 something anyway are Baxters.
Are you a pantser or a plotter when you write?
Plot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I plotted out. I feel like for me, I write really quickly. So if I'm going to set out on it, it might take me 2 weeks to write a book, which is, I know, very fast, but it's just like that. I just have, thankfully, how could I have raised 6 kids otherwise? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
Wow.
when I look at it, I go, I have to love the outline so I can swim across the ocean again. Because writing a book is like swimming across the ocean. It's not easy, but I see it like a movie in my heart. And so if I plot it out, if I have the outline, then I can assign myself chapter 1 and the old journalist in me will come out and I can just do chapter
Yeah.
1 and
Yeah.
and just carry it on
So,
that way.
so you have over 100 novels. How do you keep getting ideas?
Well, it's every life. I feel like I'm a detective of the emotions. So
Mhm.
I am, I'm out and about and I just will hear somebody having a conversation or see something
Yeah.
witness something that if I get tears seeing it or hearing it, I
Hmm.
let it stew. And He puts a movie in my heart. And I think what's really beautiful, because I'll hear from people about how the books that I'm writing will change their life or brought them hope or, whatever it would be, restoration, redemption. And I always say, it makes me feel pretty small in the whole thing because the Lord can put a story on my heart, but He
Hmm.
has your heart in mind. And only He
Hmm.
can do that. Like I couldn't know what that person needed. I could never have imagined, but I'll hear from people at events or whatnot when I speak. And they're just, they want to give the credit to me, but it's like, I think God loves you. That's where it
Well, that's
comes from.
how he usually answers prayers is through other people.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
through other people. So if we're receptive, then we can all be part of it happening and working. And yeah, I love that. Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind the scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies. The bridge, was that your first time working with Hallmark?
It was, yeah. The bridge
Yeah.
was so fun, and we filmed it up in Vancouver, Canada, and got to head out there and be on set for several weeks. Now, that was sort of my first taste of what these kind of movies could be. And obviously, we did it in two movies, which was, do you know that whole story?
Yeah.
That was a
Well,
very
I mean,
dramatic
people were
story.
so upset, right? That they were like, we
So,
need to hear part two. And so they aired it in Easter, right?
yes, they stormed the gates. I mean, electronically, virtually, they stormed the gates to where, the all the people in the upper levels were
Yeah.
like furiously, like frantically writing to me, like, "Oh my goodness, your people are freaking us out! Like, what's happening?"
Uh,
I
hey, you
mean,
don't
people
keep
were.
Hallmark fans waiting. You
No,
don't,
and,
you
and a lot
know.
of them were not my people. Like they were people who just
Yeah.
loved it, found the movie,
Yeah.
loved it, hadn't really heard of me necessarily at that point. And they were writing me things, Rachel, I won't even repeat things like, I mean, like the person who made this decision should be pushed down a flight of stairs. Like they were
Oh
just like,
no.
oh, they were beside themselves. So anyway, Hallmark very kindly as they would do, decided let's go ahead and release it at Easter of all things. But they did, and it's still. I mean, people love it today. It's The
Yeah.
Bridge 1 and 2, and inspired by a real bookstore, so it was really special.
Oh, was it? That's interesting.
Yeah,
A real bookstore.
yeah, it's here in
Um,
Franklin, Tennessee.
so the so now you have Karen Kingsbury Productions, so which is producing this the Christmas Ring, and so is that something you are getting more involved in? Is the producing side of things?
It's really fun. Yeah, there've been several. I mean, it just recently, A Thousand Tomorrows, was a TV show on Netflix and stayed in the top
Mm.
10 for
Mhm.
like several weeks. So there's lots of people have done productions on my work, and I've appreciated it so much. But you stay in the world of it long enough, and you go, well, I might even do this, or I would maybe take my hand at trying it that way. And so, yeah, in 22, we opened Karen Kingsbury Productions. Someone Like You was the first one that we did, where literally we funded it, hired the crew locally here in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and filmed 1 week. We were in Alabama, but the rest we were in Tennessee. And then this one was all entirely Tennessee as well. They've got a great rebate program. Now we're
Mm.
familiar with all the heads of departments and the crew. So, it means that what you see on screen and what you hear is what we wrote. Me and my partner, writing partner, wrote it. And then I got to handpick the director who has a savvy ability to understand depth and emotion. I mean, so yeah, I like there's just such a thrill that way to be able to see what you pictured.
Yeah. Were both of these always intended to be theatrical releases?
I have a great relationship with Fathom Entertainment, and they kind of went from being Fathom Events
Mm-hmm.
to being Fathom Entertainment. And, if you can pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I have a movie, would you help me put it on the big screen?" And they say yes, like that's a year's worth of approvals in a
Mm-hmm.
minute. So
Yeah.
we got a chance to be able to working with them. It's made it possible. But yes, the answer is yes.
That's interesting.
We
Well,
really want to
because they
give
were
people
both
a
a
chance.
little longer than a Hallmark movie.
Yeah. So how
Uh,
long is an
like
average Hallmark movie? Because
usually 84 minutes.
okay, so this one, okay, yeah, this one
Yeah.
is an hour 40 for the
Yeah.
Christmas ring. It was about 2 hours for someone like you, but it was someone like you was deeper,
Mm-hmm.
had more drama in it, and obviously a very deep romance as well. About two twin sisters separated at the embryo stage, and a guy who was in love with one, never dated her, but he was best friends with her. She passes tragically, and he goes to find the other embryo and finds this
Mm-hmm.
girl who he ends up eventually falling in love with. So that was someone like you. But the Christmas ring, I love going to theaters to see a movie at Christmas time. Like our
Yeah.
family would circle it on the calendar, buy your tickets, get your seats early, and like just getting a chance to celebrate with other humans in the same
Yeah.
space, a reason to laugh and cry and feel hope. So it won't obviously by next year at this time, we'll see. Maybe it'll be on Hallmark wherever it'll be. But for this year, we just wanted people to have a chance to experience that in theaters.
Well, I love that because so many romances are just going straight to streaming, even high profile ones like
Yes.
the Bridget Jones movie this year, straight to streaming. Like it's just frustrating. So when I saw that the Christmas ring was getting a theatrical, I was so pleased by that.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Again, I think it's a fun date night. It's a fun girls' night out. And in this case, like, it's just like they did such a great job, Jana Kramer and Benjamin Hollingsworth. And then we got Kelsey
Mhm.
Grammer.
Yeah.
We're debuting Jesse James Decker and Debbie
Mhm.
Winans, whose sister is Cece Winans. So, we
Mhm.
really have a great, great cast, and they worked so well together. People will be thrilled, and I think
Mhm.
it's like get your tickets now. It opens November 6th, but
Mhm.
get your tickets now, get the best seats, and put it on the calendar because it's like going to a concert or going to a Christmas play or your Christmas parties. Like if you build around it, you'll do it.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's author Kate Hendrickson and her new book, Christmas Switch. She plans Christmas down to the minute. He wings it every year. But this holiday season, Type A wife Allie and her laid back husband Tommy are switching roles and learning that sometimes the best gifts are the ones you don't plan for. Christmas Switch is a witty, heartwarming holiday rom com novel perfect for fans of Hallmark movies, hot cocoa, and happily ever afters. When Allie and Tommy swap holiday duties, she's in charge of the outdoor lights and he's taking over Christmas dinner. Everything that can go wrong does. But in the middle of the chaos, they rediscover laughter, love, and what really matters most during the holidays. It's funny, festive, and full of heart, the perfect cozy read for anyone who loves Christmas stories that make you smile. Christmas Switch is available now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Books A Million, free with Kindle Unlimited or at kate-hendrickson.com. Settle in by the tree and unwrap the love, laughter of Christmas Switch this holiday season. That's kate-hendrickson.com. So why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about the movie, what to expect?
Yeah, The Christmas Ring is a romance. Obviously, it's a love story. It's about a Gold Star widow whose husband has passed 4 years ago, and she is searching for an heirloom that has been in the family for decades and decades, ever since World War II. And it's been passed down and kept in the family, the Christmas ring. And while searching for it, she actually goes into various antique shops. She just stumbles into an antique shop and looks to see just in case they might have the
Because
ring.
she lost it in
She
Colorado
lost it. She
skiing.
lost it in Colorado skiing. Yes, it's all her fault. So now it's missing. So she goes into this antique store after she takes her freshman daughter to college. She stops into this antique shop and she meets Ben Miller. Ben and his father, Howard, that's played by Kelsey Grammer, they run the shop and they strike up a friendship, Vanessa and Ben. And after 5 months, it's really looking like it might become, more romantic. He goes down to Columbus, Georgia to see her, and it's a military town. So there's theme of, her two best friends are also Gold Star widows, and they have this group and they do things for the community. But the caveat and the catch here is that Howard Miller has always been looking for the diamond in the rough, the thing that might be actually worth more than anyone ever thought, and that would give them this trip to Italy that his wife, Ben's mother, had always wanted to take. So he finds this diamond in the rough this year, and unbeknownst to anyone else, it just might be the ring, the very ring that Vanessa is looking for.
Hmm. So, what was it like going through the casting process for this movie?
Well, it's funny. It morphed over time, which things do. It started. We didn't even know about it till April, and originally it might have been for a platform. We weren't sure, and then that didn't end up working out. And we said, what, let's just make it. Let's put it in theaters and make it like a kickoff to Christmas. And our first hope was Jana Kramer.
Hmm.
I just love her. She's so deep. And if you're going to play a 40-year-old, military widow, like you need depth. And we needed Jana. And she said yes, loved the script and agreed to join us. And then Benjamin Hollingsworth on Netflix's Virgin River is kind of a bad boy.
Yeah, he is.
You know, he
Yeah,
is so endearing. And we got to
yeah.
chat with him, and like he's a poet. Like love runs deep in that man. And so I
Uh-huh.
thought, okay. And then they had just like the most incredible chemistry. So we got
Yeah.
him, and I was like, okay, we're off and running. Kelsey Grammer had 3 days. He was like, I love the script. We went through a casting director, obviously, who had to know these people. And that's where you start with any of these projects. But so Kelsey Grammer said, I have my son's birthday, which I can't miss. And then 3 days later, I go to London to finish a Marvel movie, but I'd love to do it in those 3 days. Well, the crazy thing was, we actually were going to shoot him out. That character was going to do all of his parts. He was only at one location, Miller's Antiques, and it was all going to happen in 3 days. Like we had that slated. So every box checked, and he said yes. And we had a lovely time with him. He was
Mhm.
phenomenal.
That's so cool. Yeah. How long was the shooting? Did you have a little bit longer than a typical, movie of the week?
A couple days longer, maybe. We
Yeah.
started July 23rd and ended August 10th. It's like 15 days, 12-hour days of
Okay.
shooting.
Yeah.
And then, obviously people were telling us no one has ever, I don't know, they were like people who are executives, they were like, no one's ever turned a theatrical movie around this quickly, but,
Uh-huh.
wish you the best of luck kind of thing. And we're like, well, we just kept feeling like it was a gift. Like God brought this speeding train up beside us and said, jump, let's make this
Hmm.
movie.
Hmm.
He was always ahead of us. So
Yeah.
everything that could go right went right
Oh,
instead
that's
of going
good.
wrong. And you feel it. And then the music, we have big songs, like old songs, like Frank Sinatra's "I'll Be Home for Christmas," and I mean,
Hmm.
just some. Obviously, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas" is one of our songs too, and some new ones too from like Dan and Shay. "It's Officially Christmas." That's a fun, and there's humor in this movie too, which you want when you're going to go to the theaters at Christmas time, as you can, starting November 6th for the Christmas ring. When
Hmm.
you're going to do that, you want to have fun. Like you want a beautiful romance, you want chills, you can't wait for the kiss, but you also absolutely want to have fun. You want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And this movie has that.
Yeah. So what do you hope people take away from the movie?
I think that there's a line that Jana says that's really beautiful, that I hope they take away from it. And that is knowing when to hold on to the past and knowing
Hmm.
when to let it go. I
Yeah.
think that's a beautiful truth. And I think there's another line that I love that Kelsey Grammer gets to say, and it's a quote from the Bible of Scripture, and it says, "Where your heart is, there your treasure will be also." So we're talking about this treasure, this ring that's been in the
Hmm.
family, but if you're only looking at it as a financial windfall, then you've missed something. It's more
Hmm.
about the heart, and it's about love. Love is the greatest gift of all. It's the greatest diamond in the rough, especially at Christmas time,
Greatest Christmas gift too.
right?
Yeah.
Amen.
Very good. Very good. Well, we have some fun get to know you holiday questions that we like to
Great.
end off with. Okay. Oh, and I guess we should say you said a book version, a novelization is coming out as
Yes.
well, right?
Yeah, so that was we finished the script, and I was like, as the consumer, I'm like, I'm gonna love this movie, but I want more. Like I want to know like what really happened in World War II. Put me there.
Uh-huh.
Let me know what happens after the last page, after the last scene in the script. And
Uh-huh.
so I just wrote a book. I was like, I'm writing it, and it took just like I don't know, 8 days to write it, and contacted my agent. And I said, I need a publisher for this because I'm out of my contract that I'd had with Simon and Schuster so I could make movies. And so we got a quick contract with Thomas Nelson, HarperCollins, and they were all in. I mean, they were like, let's do it. And actually, this is wild. And I think it's because the trailer has garnered like millions and millions of views on social media. This maybe is why, but the book hasn't just quite released yet. And already it's in the third print run, which has never happened to
Oh my
me
gosh.
before.
So that many
So,
pre-orders, huh?
yes, yeah. So
That's
it's pretty amazing.
incredible. That's incredible. That's really, really cool. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/hallmarkies.
Do you find that the experience of writing a screenplay is really different than writing a book, or not
Well,
that different?
you asked about plotting, and honestly, writing a screenplay is it's little more than a glorified outline, really. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
80, 90 pages with very dramatic margins, and you're really just giving the heart of it. So you don't have to create the world because that's up to set deck and costumes and, the
Right. Yeah.
people on set. So it is very different, and I think it's fun. I actually love screenwriting, but then, the author in me is like, wait, there's more. So the Christmas
Yeah.
Ring, and it's one of those things I think you could read the Christmas Ring first and then watch the movie, or you could go the other way around and go, I'm gonna just watch the movie and then I'm going to want to know more. And I think
Yeah.
that'll be what we'll see for the most part.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we have our fun holiday get to know you questions. First one, what is your favorite holiday drink?
I would say hot coffee with Coke. This is a weird one, but with cinnamon and coconut oil. I blend it.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite holiday cookie or treat?
My mom's famous, of course, everybody's mom's famous, but my mom's famous sugar cookies where you cut them out and you frost them with a little
Uh-huh.
glaze. Those are the best. We make them every year.
Ah, sounds good. All right. What's your favorite Christmas song or carol?
I still think Silent Night will always hold it for me. And we have actually a little choir singing that in the Christmas ring, and it's such a special moment. Like it's just, I don't know, you stop, right? It's like watching the sunset. So yeah,
Yeah.
Silent Night.
What's your favorite classic Christmas movie?
It's got to be While You Were Sleeping for me. I mean, I think I just
Yes.
watch it over and over. Lucy Moderat. I think she's just a character we all love and we can all relate to.
I love that movie so much too. And I think that it actually captures the experience of loneliness better than almost any film I know.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that we had some inspiration from that when we did the Christmas Ring. And
Mm-hmm.
again, why I think it works in theaters is, whatever is holding you back from moving forward into the next
Yeah.
season of your life, like maybe it's time to set it down.
It's
Yeah.
also such a funny script. It's
Oh,
really
so
they
funny.
have
It's
they
so good.
have doctors for this.
That's right. And the casting in that was so good. Like
Mhm.
everybody, it's
Yeah,
just perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
great chemistry, great choice. Okay, which do you like better, Scrooge or the Grinch?
Goodness, I love them both so much. As a 4 or 5 year old, I memorized The Grinch, the book, Dr. Seuss. So I love,
Mhm.
love, love that. We'd watch it every year. When you only had, I think, three channels to choose from, and it came on a one Friday night. You could only watch it once
Mhm.
a year. But there's a musical version of the Scrooge it's called Scrooge, and it has Albert Finney. It's like a 1970s
Mhm. Mhm.
musical. Will
Mhm.
always, always, always be my favorite. And
Yeah.
guess what? My dad took me and my siblings to go see it in the theaters.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. No, that one's fun. I mean, I love it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
The nicest thing.
Great
Yep,
song
exactly.
everyone's ever done for
We
me.
literally work our Christmas family Christmas dinner around that movie, and we have our dinner, and then we go into the TV room and we watch that movie together every year.
Yeah. So, which do you like better, clear lights or colored?
Clear with a little tiny hint of the yellow, just like that kind of, I did the old fashioned. I love old
Yeah.
fashioned.
Which would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
Build a snowman. We have so much fun with that. Well,
Mhm.
we don't get a lot of snow in Tennessee, but when we do, we'll get out there and we'll give them a cute smile with raisins,
Yeah. Would
carrot
you
notes.
consider yourself a good gift wrapper or not?
I am a really good gift wrapper, actually, Rachel. It's serious. Like, I spent probably 2 Christmases working at our local mall as a high schooler, and I was wrapped gifts. That's what I had to do. I had to professionally wrap gifts for people at the Hallmark store. Of all things, I literally worked at the Hallmark store. I just am
Wow.
realizing that's what a
That's really
connection.
funny.
And so if I tell you I'm a rapper, I'm a rapper. I'm a rapper.
Yeah,
That's why I actually worked for a while as a rapper, Christmas rapping.
you're professional.
I was trained by the
So,
best.
do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
I really prefer everyone else to wear theirs. I tend to wear like little Christmas
Oh, yeah.
pins and
It's
very much
cute.
enjoy having, the people come in their sweaters. But for me, I'm always like, but I still kind of want to look cute. So I wear something else.
Well, very good. You did it. You answered all the questions. So, congratulations on the movie and the book.
Thank
That's
you
very
so much.
exciting.
Yeah, people are going to love it. And the Christmas ring will touch your heart, Rachel. Hope you get a chance to see it. And then we
Mhm.
can chat about how you liked it.
Yeah. And if people, how when does it get released? The book and movie. How can they see it?
So the book is out this week. So, you can get it now. You order it today, you
Okay.
have it by tomorrow. So the book is now, and then the movie releases in theaters everywhere, starting on November 6th. And it's only in theaters. It won't be anywhere. You aren't going to get it this Christmas on
Hmm.
any other platform because we really wanted to keep that experience sort of
I
sacred,
love
that
that.
here's where you
I
can
love
go and
that.
see it. So it starts November 6th, and we surely hope it will go all the way through the end of the Christmas season. And they tell us that when people get their tickets early and then put the date, just like circle it like you would a Christmas party or you would a Christmas concert, just put it on the calendar, that theaters will say, oh, people are buying these tickets. That's kind of fun. And then they'll keep it in longer. So
Yeah.
that's our plan.
Yeah. Well, very good. If people want to follow you on social media or anything like that, how do they do that?
Yeah, the best way to reach me or to find out more about the movie or watch the trailer would be KarenKingsbury.com. And
Okay.
then I'm at Karen Kingsbury on all the platforms here, Instagram, Facebook,
Great.
TikTok, X, all the things. I'm all in all places. I have so much fun interacting with people and hearing the stories that they share. So it's a fun place to find me.
Well, I hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas. And thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you, Rachel. We'll do it again sometime. I appreciate you.
We'd like to thank Karen for coming on the podcast. This was a blast to get to talk with her. I really enjoyed it. I hope you all did as well. And let me know what you think about all the things we talked about and the movie and the book. If you get a chance to read or view either, love to hear your thoughts. And check out all of our author interviews that we've done over the years. We've done many, many, many. All our book content. I'll include the playlist below, and we'll have the affiliate links to the book and the other content. Definitely check it out. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. Check that out. Also, make sure that you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all over social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We sure appreciate that. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Most of our viewers on YouTube are not subscribers. And if we got even a small portion of those viewers to subscribe, it would really help out the podcast a lot. So please like and subscribe. And check out our Patreon group. That's the biggest way you can support everything that we're doing. Get even part of watch alongs and bonus episodes. And you get to suggest episodes, be part of our monthly polls, things like that. So definitely take a look at the Patreon. And then we have our merch store. We have tons of fun holiday inspired merch. So check that out. And thanks again to Karen, and we'll talk to y'all later.